Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. This is your full-time match reaction from Old Trafford on the start of the brand new Premier League season, where I said time and time again, if we start the season badly and we don't pick up 3 points at the start of the season, considering we've got Chelsea, we've got Manchester City in our first 5 fixtures, Manchester United could have done with at least a draw today. We could have done with at least a point, giving us some type of confidence that we can start the season well, and we haven't got to start the season yet again with another defeat. It's really, really embarrassing. It's unacceptable, the mistakes that haven't improved over the summer, mistakes that were meant to be worked on during pre-season, and yet again, the biggest problem in this team that Manchester United feel like doesn't need addressing is the goalkeeper situation. Apparently the priority is we don't need a goalkeeper. We don't need a goalkeeper. This is what makes me laugh. Apparently we don't need a goalkeeper. But yet again, no matter what goalie we've got in goal, the same mistakes that Onana makes is the same mistake Bayindir makes. The goal we've conceded is absolutely laughable. We needed a goalkeeper. Romano said it. Mark Goldbridge has said it. A priority should have been a goalkeeper. Should have been brought in at the start of the season. And we're starting with Bayindir in goal against an Arsenal team that, to be fair, didn't really create a lot. Gyökeres was kept quiet. Saka didn't really have any attacking threat on United's goal. And apart from that, Arsenal have scraped away with a very, very lucky goal. And people say there was a foul in the build-up. There was a foul in the United's penalty area. No, there wasn't. There was no foul. No one made any foul in that United penalty area for the first goal. There was no foul. There was no foul in our penalty area. We've basically got a goalkeeper who basically palms his hand at the ball and decides, instead of trying to get the ball out of danger and to try and clear the ball away, you decide to palm the ball straight into Calafiori at the back post. And that's what also annoys me. No one's marking Calafiori at the back post. I mean, we were meant to be working on the mistakes we made in the defensive area of last season, and yet we're making the same mistakes. This is what makes me laugh. There's stuff in this team that's not getting worked on, and we make the same mistakes. Yeah, but if he's pushing them, it will be a penalty. Yeah, I get what people are saying. I completely respect the situation, but the goal we've conceded is absolutely pathetic. You need to be punching the ball out of the penalty area with your hand. You need to be getting that ball out of danger, and he decides to palm his hand at it. As a goalkeeper, you are meant to get both hands behind the ball. And instead, he just palms his hand at the ball. And that's what makes me laugh. And apparently, Onana wasn't even injured. I think MANUEL played great, though, looking forward to the season. I mean, I like your optimism. I like your confidence. But after one game, I ain't convinced. I am really, really not convinced that we're going to have a good season, because we've already dropped 3 points. We've lost our first game of the season and we're already 3 points behind. So that is what annoys me. Yeah, there is a lot of potential. I get that. It is only game 1, but it's the same mistakes over and over again that really annoys me. If Bayindir's in goal, he makes mistakes. If Onana's in goal, he makes mistakes. Then you're blind. Last year's team would have lost 4-0. But it's the mistakes we're making that are when we concede the goals. It's the mistakes we're making. A goalkeeper needed to be brought in, and that is on Sir Jim Ratcliffe. That is on Omar Barada. A priority isn't to sign a goalkeeper. We were way better today, just need De Gea back. No matter what goalie we got in goal, it's not really going to matter. And the build-up for that corner, we've got our captain who's piss-farting assing in his own penalty area, and instead of trying to get the ball out of danger, he then decides to play the ball back to one of the other United players and it ends up having to go out for an Arsenal corner because you've got Bruno Fernandes piss-assing at the back. And he's meant to be the captain. He's meant to be the leader in this team. And you've got him messing about at the back when he can't even get the ball out of danger. As a captain, just get the ball out of our penalty area. Just get the ball out and clear it away. Because the danger you are going to put your teammates in is going to end up backfiring. And from the resulting corner, it backfires. We concede such a soft goal from a poor goalkeeping error again. Glory, glory, Man United. We did well today. Still rate him more than Onana. I'm sorry. I completely disagree. Bayindir is crap. Onana is crap. There's even people saying, get Tom Heaton in goal. No. I don't want Tom Heaton in goal. I don't want Onana in goal. I don't want Bayindir in goal. Neither of those three goalkeepers are good enough. And hello to Real F1 League in a live chat as well. I'm not being a downer. I'm telling you how it is. We've lost the game down to poor goalkeeping. We've lost the game down to poor goalkeeping. We need to stop covering the mistakes that this team makes. As a goalkeeper, from the resulting corner, you need to punch the ball out. Not just palm your hand at it. You need to get the ball out of danger. You need to be punching it with both hands, not just one. You've got to be getting that ball away. And he doesn't, and he flops at it. And he's not just flopped at it, he's then left Calafiori unmarked. Now, whatever we're doing in training, we do need a goalkeeper. Exactly. We do need a new goalkeeper. This is on Sajim. This is on Omar Barada. If they don't think we need a goalkeeper, open your fucking eyes. Open your eyes up and realise how shit both goalkeepers we got actually are. Please smash that like button and please give me a follow as well. Both goalkeepers we've got at this club are shit. And yet neither of them are getting forced out. Neither of them are being told they've got to go. Manchester United need to be getting their ass into gear and realise these goalkeepers are shit. They are going to make mistakes every time, from a set piece, from a corner, from a free kick. Stevie Wonder would do fucking better, and the guy's fucking blind for fuck's sake. Stevie Wonder would do better defending that corner. Just get the ball out of danger and get it away. But the problem is, if you're not going to mark the back post, what is the actual point? Like, what is the point of trying to defend at all when we've got goalkeepers that make mistake, but you've also got a defence that can't defend as well? Like, you don't need to be playing two left-footed players in the same back five. That is also what I don't get from today's game. You've got two players who exactly are the same foot, and you're playing them inside a back five. And this is what I don't get. If the team is fresh and the team is fit, then why on earth are we not picking our strongest team? Because I've looked at that team today and I've looked at that lineup and realised, so you're not starting SESKO, you're not playing Aiden Heaven, you've played you're not going to play MAINOO, you're not going to start UGARTE. Like, what is that formation today? Like, what is that team today? I'm sorry, but Ruben Amorim has got to take responsibility for today's game. I know people may not like it, and people say, "Oh, get off Ruben Amorim's back." But at the end of the day, you need to be picking your best team. We struggled to score goals last season, and we've spent 73 million on a striker, and you're not starting him, but you're forcing Rasmus out. I'm sorry, if you want to score goals, you've got to be starting your striker, not playing CUNHA down the middle, not playing MBEUMO down the middle, and not fucking playing Mason Mount as a number 10. Mason Mount should be in that team. Mason Mount should be in that team. Arsenal looked like Norwich United was all over them. Exactly. What difference does it make? That's a positive though, but UGARTE, bruh, exactly. Start as we mean to go on, always good to beat United. Yeah, I mean, fair play. You've scraped a lucky 1-0 win due to piss-ass goalkeeping. You've got a goal through poor goalkeeping. Apart from that, what else did Arsenal do? Apart from that, what did Arsenal actually create in that game? You've scored through a scruffy goal. You've scored through a massive, massive goalkeeping error. What else did you do? Saka, non-existent. Gyökeres, very, very quiet. Got taken off after 60 minutes because he was shit. The first half we was crossing the ball most attacks, and the second half we crossed it 2 times. Exactly. But that's because there's no one in the penalty area. That's because there's no one in the box. Lee Harrison wasted time from the 50th minute in the first game of the season, provides how bad you are. Used all the dark arts time wasted and scored a goal from a corner. Max Verstappen is on top. Thank you for the follow. Do you actually score apart from corners? Exactly. Arsenal have scored through a corner. Arsenal have scored through a corner due to bad goalkeeping. That was Arsenal's only threat on our goal. Was through a corner. What else was there in that Arsenal team that scared us? There wasn't exactly a lot that actually frightened me. Gyökeres non-existent. Odegaard quiet. Should have had a pen on CUNHA. Yeah, I think that potentially could have been. Yeah, we did lose. Yes, we did lose. I get that. I get we've lost, right? But Arsenal have won the game through a goalkeeping error that could have been prevented if Manchester United had a better goalkeeper. And we don't have one. We scored the most from corners last season, and it continues. They play like Stoke and have the ego of Real Madrid. Please smash that like button and please give me a follow as well. Would really, really appreciate it. But yeah, like, the goalkeeping is a massive problem. And if you're Sir Jim and if you're Omar Barada, you've got to go in the market for a goalkeeper. I don't care how much it's going to cost. Manchester United need a fucking goalkeeper. We need a goalkeeper. You can't say we don't need one. Yeah, but it is down to the goalkeeping. It is down to the goalkeeping though. That is what I'm trying to get across. The mistake came through a goalkeeping mistake. Bayindir is shit, and so is Onana. If you had a Donnarumma in goal, or if you had a Layman's in goal, or if you had Martinez in goal, they wouldn't make that mistake. They would get that ball out or catch the ball with both hands or fist it out of the penalty area. But instead, you've got Bayindir in goal, who I wouldn't trust to hand out the big issue magazines, because he'd probably flop them at people as well. If he doesn't make that mistake, we probably don't concede from that corner. But Bruno Fernandes also has got to take responsibility, because he was piss-assing at the back, trying to know what to do with the ball. And instead of just trying to get the ball out of the area, doesn't he pass it back to Yoro? And then fucking Dillit has to slam Odegaard out for a corner because Bruno Fernandes can't decide what to do with the ball. And that's your captain. That's meant to be your leader at Manchester United. And people had said, we should have taken that 100 million now. And I agree. We should have taken that 100 million. I would have sold Bruno in a fucking heartbeat. But unfortunately, yet again, we have got a football club that don't know what they're fucking doing. If you've got 100 million in that team, you have got to sell him. You've got to sell him. You have got to sell him. And we didn't do it. Pointless and moaning about it now, you lost, end of. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, people are trying to cover up for this club. It's the first full transfer window, give it time. But the problem you've got with that is, there isn't time. There is going to be no patience. We've got City and Chelsea in the first 5 games. And we're expecting to beat them, are we? We're expecting to beat them. You left your £73 million striker on the bench, where our biggest problem last season is we don't score goals. You're playing Mason Mount as a number 10. That doesn't fucking work. I'm sorry. Onana got dropped. Onana got dropped because he's shit. He wasn't even injured. You've got David Ornstein saying the reason Onana's not playing today is because he's injured. And we've then got Laurie Whitwell coming out saying, no, he isn't injured actually. He's actually been dropped. There's a reason Onana's been dropped, is because he's shit. That is the pure reason Onana doesn't play today, because he's shit. He is absolutely shit. But to put Bayindir in goal, I think is really, really childish. But what option does Ruben Amorim have? What option does Ruben Amorim actually have in that team, apart from Bayindir at the moment? He doesn't want to put Tom Heaton in goal, because that's fucking embarrassing. So you've basically got no choice. You really have got no choice, really, but to put Bayindir in goal. Because he shouldn't have to really use either of these goalkeepers. He really shouldn't have to use Onana. Apparently, one of the summer priorities was we now wanted a goalkeeper, and now we don't want one. So make that make any sense. Apparently, we don't need a goalkeeper. But we do need a goalkeeper. We need a goalkeeper brought in these last 2 weeks of the transfer window. We can't carry on like this. I know it's only game 1, but we should have won that game. We should have won that game today, but it's down to the same mistakes we made last season were through the goalkeeper. But it's also the defence as well. I mean, you don't need 2 left-footed players in the same back 5. I don't get that back 3. I don't get why Diego Dalot was playing at right wing back when we had Ahmad available, but apparently Ahmad was under the weather. Did it look like Ahmad was under the weather today? Because if that's one of the reasons that was being given for him not starting, that is utterly pathetic. If you're basically saying Ahmad was under the weather, he couldn't start the game. Did he look under the weather in that second half when he came on? Because he looks as bright as a button, to be fair. If Ahmad's under the weather, I would love to know when he is under the weather, because he didn't look ill to me. He looked absolutely fine. And he made an impact when he came on. You could see the build-up play between MBEUMO and Ahmad, and that was working. That doesn't happen when you've got Dalot in that position. There's no build-up play, and there's no togetherness between Dalot and MBEUMO. There is no build-up play. There's nothing there that gives me any confidence. I'm not making that up. What did Dalot do in that game? What does Dalot do in that game? What does Dalot offer us? He did fuck all, and he got dragged off, rightly so. Dalot is absolutely shit. We need to stop covering up these players. I know people have got their favourites, and I respect that. But some of these players are the problem at this football club. Exactly. Starting Luke Shaw in 2025 is shocking. Exactly. We don't need fucking Luke Shaw. We don't need Luke Shaw anymore. And Casemiro. Completely agree. We know the midfield is also a problem. Because Casemiro and Fernandes doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. And I don't know why Ruben Amorim keeps banging his drum and keeps on doing it. That's what infuriates me as well. We know that midfield. I'm an average United fan. If you don't want to watch, don't fucking watch. I'm telling you how it is. I'm telling the truth. I'm calling out where the problems are in that team. Why do you think we went after Belieber? Why do you think United have gone after Belieber and then we've then walked away? Because the midfield keeps getting fucking walked through. The midfield is such a problem. UGARTE played worse than Casemiro. I'm apparently worse than Goldbridge. Right. People don't like the honesty. People don't like the truth. Give a header wobble. A few seasons ago, he was rated best left back in the league. I don't rate Luke Shaw. I don't rate Luke Shaw. I've never liked the guy. He's been injury prone since he broke his fucking leg. And I've been a big demander of getting him out that team. It says a lot about you, to be fair. Do you know what? If you don't want to watch the content, go away. I'm telling you, we were shit. We were absolutely shit. You don't need Luke Shaw in that team. You've got Diego Leon. You don't need to play Luke Shaw inside a back 3 when he's not even a centre back. Like, make that make sense. Make that make any sense. Luke Shaw is not a centre back. He's a fucking left back. And people are absolutely covering up for him. Diego Leon isn't ready yet. Diego Leon played so much of pre-season football, and apparently he isn't ready. Like, make that make sense then. So what was the point of bringing Diego Leon in then? What was the point of having Diego Leon in this team where you're not even going to have him on the bench? You don't need a left-footed centre-back in left-back in the side that back three. I'm sorry to say, it makes no sense. Arsenal fan here, Man United played better today, just a lucky corner goal and a solid defence. Yeah, exactly. And you're absolutely right, Ivan. You are absolutely right. You got lucky through a lucky corner goal. Exactly. Exactly. You're absolutely bang on right. You are right. And that's what I've been trying to say. Arsenal got lucky for a lucky corner goal for a huge mistake from the goalkeeper. That's what I'm trying to say. If we had a better goalkeeper in goal, we probably wouldn't make that error. But Man United keep banging their drum saying we don't need a goalkeeper, we don't need a goalkeeper, we don't need a goalkeeper. But we do need a goalkeeper. We can't just keep using Bayindir. We can't keep using Onana. If Amorim doesn't rate them, then the club have got to force them out. The club have got to tell both goalkeepers, you are going. And we are getting rid of you if you like it or lump it. We're forcing you out. Because we're doing it to Rasmus. We're doing it to Rasmus Højlund. He was left out of the squad today because at the end of the day, Amorim doesn't rate him. He isn't good enough. Join the clan, Project Ruben in Clash Royale. We are going to top 5 Broski. Mount was decent today. I disagree. I absolutely disagree. But yeah, they're banging their drum saying they don't need a goalkeeper, they don't need a goalkeeper, but we actually do. We do actually need a new goalkeeper. And Man United don't seem to have that as a priority, which make no sense. So if we don't sign a goalkeeper in these next 2 weeks, I would be incredibly annoyed, because then we are stuck with who we've got. And I don't think it's fair on a manager what we are apparently meant to be backing. Oh, we're not getting you a goalkeeper, do you mind if we don't get you one? Well, I'm afraid if you don't get Ruben Amorim a goalkeeper, it's going to be the same old season like it was last season. We'll finish about 15th and they'll still stand by him as manager because we aren't finishing higher than what we are. Today was the best we've played in a long time. Yeah, I agree, Finley. Shouldn't have spent so much on the attack. But the attack needed improving though. You've got to spend money on every sector of that team and we're not doing it. Amorim's fault, didn't give SESKO enough minutes, and BRYAN and CUNHA had to feed Mickey Mount, who was atrocious. Exactly. Please smash that like button and please give me a follow on TikTok as well. People are making some very, very good comments. And it's a shame that MBEUMO and CUNHA have got to realise that they are basically the best 2 players in that team. And a lot of people say that's quite a strong statement. But MBEUMO and CUNHA were our best attacking options that whole 96 minutes. They were our best 2 attacking options for the whole 96 minutes. And they're brand new signings. And they're already showing up how shit some of these players are. SESKO should have started the game. There is no excuse not to start SESKO. If you're spending 73 million on a striker, I really would have thought that he would have started that game today. And why we haven't is what I don't really get. Because if he was fit and he's had about 2 weeks to train, then why on earth has Ruben Amorim not decided to start him? Because you could tell how many crosses did we put in that box in the first half and no one was in there. That's a big problem. We put balls into the box and no one's in there. Like, what are you meant to actually do? If you're going to put crosses into the Arsenal penalty area, at least have some Man United players in there to attack the ball. But instead, we're just hoofing it in there, trying to hit blind balls in and expect someone to run 50 fucking yards up the pitch and get onto the end of it. You can't keep doing that as a football club. And this is why I would have started SESKO. If Gyökeres can start for Arsenal today, then SESKO should have started up front. SESKO should have started. And I feel sorry for the guy. I actually feel sorry for him because, in my opinion, if you're getting that much money spent on you, you really should be starting for your club. And you're not. And at the end of the day, that is on the manager because he is picking the team, by the way. Ruben Amorim is picking that team. Ruben Amorim is picking that selection he feels it's the best to go with. Like, you're playing a left-back at centre-back where you had Heaven and Maguire both available to start with DALOT and Euro. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, Manager picks the team, no shit, Sherlock. I mean, there's no need to get like that. I know he picks the team, and I respect what you're saying. But you've got to realise, as a manager, you are making your own mistakes there. You don't put a left back at centre back. UGARTE might be the worst midfielder in the league. UGARTE was atrocious. I mean, that shot that he decided to shoot when he got the ball was absolutely, was unfucking believable. I mean, why would he shoot at that moment in time, knowing we needed a goal? I couldn't believe when he went for went for the shot. It is just absolutely crazy. And I'm a big fan of UGARTE. I actually like him as a player. But what he did in that moment was stupid. What he did in that moment was stupid. Instead of trying to go for glory, try and use your teammates in better space on the pitch to try and create something. Because it shows there was greed in that moment to go for goal, to try and find that equaliser. And unfortunately, it wasn't coming. That equaliser was not coming. I feel sorry for CUNHA. I feel sorry for him in MBEUMO. Because they were Man United's two best players on that pitch for 96 minutes. It's a shame that new signings are having to show up how bad some of those players actually are. Bruno Fernandes had an awful 96 minutes. There's no way he's going to get dropped. There's no way he's not going to be in that team week in, week out. I mean, we're only playing one game a week, but there's no way Bruno's going to get dropped by Amorim, so don't expect that to happen. MAINOO didn't even see a ball today. MAINOO didn't even play, which I think says a lot. He's not signing a new contract, and if he isn't playing, then what is the point of MAINOO being here? UGARTE is clearly ahead of him. Mason Mount's clearly ahead of him, and Casemiro's also ahead of him. Bruno looks lost not playing as far forward as last season. But the problem is, Bruno is not a number 8. Bruno is a number 10. And unfortunately, we've brought 2 number 10s who play in his position. So Bruno is having to drop deeper and deeper into that team because he's actually got 2 better players in front of him in the number 10 position. And again, you're starting CUNHA down the middle. And CUNHA's not even a striker. CUNHA's not even a striker. And you're starting him down the middle against Arsenal. He's not, but he plays better in that position. See, I feel Bruno's better in the number 10. And it's only in my opinion, it's only my view. I feel Bruno Fernandes is better in the number 10 position. But unfortunately for him, he realises that he's got 2 better players in that position of him already. So he can't drop into that number 10 position because you've got CUNHA and MBEUMO there. If SESKO would have been put on earlier, he could have scored. Exactly. Please smash that like button, by the way. Please give me a follow on TikTok as well. Would really appreciate it. Exactly. There's some people making some very good points. If SESKO was put on earlier, he could have scored. Yeah, I actually do agree. But SESKO should have started the game. SESKO should have started. The lad from Wolves is going to be brilliant. He is class. Exactly. CUNHA and MBEUMO were basically Man United's player of the match. Even though we've lost the game today, the amount of attacking opportunities and the amount of chances they had, it shows that we were missing that last season. We were missing that attacking threat from those 2 types of players. Mount had a great game. I think Mount did alright in some aspects, but I don't think he was, that great. He wasted 2 chances, he did nothing. But again, we did need a striker to get that ball to. That's the problem we suffered with all game. If you're not going to start a striker, you think to yourself, what is the point playing CUNHA down the middle? Because CUNHA's a number 10, and you've got Mount in that position, MBEUMO in that position, and then you've got CUNHA down the middle. I mean, if you've got SESKO there, why not just drop CUNHA back to number 10, MBEUMO number 10, and then put CUNHA down the middle? For Arsenal, Saka was awful today, looked like he didn't want to play. We need a goalkeeper, says Lux. Yeah, we do need a goalkeeper, completely agree. Smash that like button, please give me a follow as well. I honestly think United deserved a draw. Looked like a hell of a lot better than last season. Listen, United played very well, so they're definitely... Yeah, there are a lot of positives. There are a lot of positives there. Completely agree. There is a lot of positives. But it's a shame that the new players have exposed how awful we actually are. Because it showed that the amount of chances they both had on goal and the chances that they both had, they easily both could have scored goals today. Much better but clueless up top. Exactly, Wayne's right. Wayne's absolutely right with that comment as well. Much better but clueless up top. Exactly. You don't have a striker in that team. Where's the goals coming from? We were the better team today. Their best player was their goalkeeper. Yeah, I think David Raya probably gets player of the match from both sides, I would say. I think if MBEUMO scored the header that not Onana. I think if MBEUMO would have scored the header that David Raya saved, we probably would have got a point. We weren't clueless at the top at all. Raya was just a wall. Wouldn't say clueless. Cunha and MBEUMO looking good. Thought it was a foul on Cunha. Saliba nowhere near the ball. Exactly. Think Cunha and MBEUMO did extremely good games. David Raya was outstanding. DALOT was immense. Lads raging inside. That's what I think you need to play. Raya made some good saves. More set pieces for us, but every part was good. If we wouldn't have conceded that goal, we wouldn't have lost the game. If we wouldn't have made the goalkeeping error we made today, we wouldn't have lost that game. That's the only mistake that we made, was the goal. That was the only mistake we made, was the goal that we conceded. Apart from that, we absolutely battered them in that second half. We absolutely battered them. Smash that like button. Give me a follow on TikTok. We were miles better. Arsenal got that goal. Arsenal got that goal and basically sat back and let us attack them. That was Arsenal's game plan. Try and break Manchester United on the counter-attack and try and get another goal. That was Arsenal's game plan. We played well. It's looking a lot better for us. No, we was the better team. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We was the better team. We have improved. We've had more of everything, but the corner was dreadful. But that is down to Bayindir. Pure luck. Yeah, I think Lux is absolutely right. The goal is nothing more than pure luck. Gokres is a pony as well. More fouls than touches of the ball. If you was miles better, you would have won. Yeah, but we would have won the game we would have got a point if Bayindir wouldn't have made the mistake he did. He made in goal. Like, that was the only mistake that we actually made the whole game, was the Arsenal goal. If we had a better goalkeeper, we wouldn't have conceded that goal. Anyways, brother, have a good rest of the day. United. Yeah, you too, mate. Please remember, everybody, smash that like button. Please give me a follow, I would really appreciate it. If we wouldn't have made the mistake, exactly, football is all about not making mistakes. Cribs is absolutely right. You are right. Second mistake was not to score a goal or two. Yeah, Main is right. Too many poor touches in the Arsenal box. Hit it first time, but he did make a mistake, so you lost. Yeah, exactly. David Raya had a better, brilliant game. On a different day, we would win that game 2 or 3-1. So one mistake or 3. I would say the main problem was the goalkeeping error, and us obviously not scoring a goal was another problem. If Cunha would have scored that chance he had when he took on all those Arsenal players and got past all of them, and I think if Cunha would have had an extra man beside him, he might have been able to lay somebody else off. So that was a positive. So that could have gone in. Obviously, the save that David Raya made from the MBEUMO header, that was a fantastic save. Let's not take anything away from them. And obviously, MBEUMO and Cunha were our best players. By an absolute mile, our best players. Bruno and Casemiro, again, this is why we need Belieber in that midfield too. If UGARTE isn't going to play, if MAINOO's not going to play, and then you shift Mount out of the team and put Cunha and MBEUMO back in the 2 number 10 positions and put SESKO down the middle, we need Belieber next to Fernandes, or Fernandes needs dropping and get MAINOO in. Like, I can't believe MAINOO didn't see any game time today. That is what I'm annoyed about. I can't believe MAINOO did not see any game time. That is what I don't understand. How the hell did MAINOO not get any game time today? 96 minutes and he didn't get used. I think that says a lot. And if he doesn't want to sign a new contract, I actually wouldn't blame him. But UGARTE, I mean, what difference did he make? Not much. MAINOO did need game time today. Thank you for the follow, Glazers out. DALOT was incredible. Yeah, I'd say DALOT had an incredible game. Should have subbed on Cunha or MBEUMO off for Xerxes. But again, that's another player I've completely forgotten about. We didn't use Xerxes either. So that could be down to, obviously Xerxes had that injury at the end of last season, didn't he? Or did he pick it up in pre-season? He picked up a knock. So maybe we're not chucking him in off the bench straight away, or maybe again Amrim doesn't rate Xerxes. It could be one or two reasons, but again we have lost the game. We did deserve to lose in the end down to our mistake that we made, but I don't feel like we deserve to win the game as a whole. That's the end of your invincible title win then. Yeah, you are second in the league. Yeah, exactly. I mean, fair play. You are second in the league. Fair play. But yeah, we have lost our opening game of the season, and obviously it is very disappointing. It's very frustrating that we've made the mistake we did to concede the goal. But like I said, if we had a better goalkeeper, we probably wouldn't have conceded that goal. And I think Man United have got to enter the market for a goalkeeper. Would that be Layman's? Would that be Donnarumma? Or would that be Martinez? We need a goalkeeper. But if we don't sign one, that is what will annoy me. Because surely Ruben Amorim can see it. Surely Omar Barada and Sir Jim Ratcliffe can see that we need a goalkeeper. And we need a new midfielder as well. Yep, Kai is absolutely right. But we've walked away from Belieber, haven't we? We've walked away from the Belieber deal. So what midfielder we're going to get, I don't know. Because even David Ornstein has said it looks very unlikely we get Adam Wharton. And it looks very unlikely that we don't get that Sporting Lisbon midfielder either. So what other midfielder can we get? I don't actually know. Another revolution falls at first hurdle. Why didn't Amorim bring Sesko on? Again, it's a very, 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 very good point. Smash that like button, everybody. Give me a follow. You're all making some very good points. I don't know why Sesko didn't start. I don't get it either. I'm completely confused as you. I don't know why Sesko didn't start. Not feeling Ugarte at all. No, especially after the shot he had on goal. Ugarte is so bad and our goalkeeper lost us that game. We dominated them on stats, but a win is a win, I guess. Yeah, exactly. You are absolutely right. He must have been an absolute ghost then. Exactly. Exactly. Why did Bruno play full 90 when he was bad? Your team is shit, end of. We weren't that shit. We were the better team, miles better than Arsenal. Arsenal went 1-0 up, parked the bus and just basically let us attack them. Arsenal's goal come nothing more than pure luck. Like I said, a better goalkeeper between the sticks, we wouldn't concede that goal. There's nothing two ways about it. If we don't concede that goal, we wouldn't have lost that game. Anyone seen Gyökeres? Very good point. Very, very good point. Arsenal weren't that great. Arsenal were not that great. Man U expected to be good at home on first game of the season. Yeah, again, very good point. Please smash that like button. Please give me a follow on TikTok if you're new. And if you want, if anybody wants to come on and make their point, then they are more than welcome to. But I'm just frustrated we've lost the game the way we've lost it. Worst I've seen Arsenal play and best I've seen United play in a while. Yeah, James is absolutely right. We played well today. We played a lot better than what I was expecting to. Like, I think some of the football we did play was actually very, very good. It's just a shame that there was no end product. And it's just a shame we are stuck with the goalkeepers we've got. If I was Bayindir, I would be getting out of the club quite quickly because he's going to get crucified for that mistake. A lot of positives to take from today. Yeah, Farley, you're absolutely right. Arsenal corner FC, even though we lost, I'll take that game as a positive. United with a better team. Overall, Arsenal needed a threat besides set pieces. You're a Chelsea fan, I completely respect that. Welcome if you're new, please smash that like button, give me a follow on TikTok. A lot of teams will struggle at Old Trafford, I hope so. I'm not a United fan, but you lot played well. That goal could and should have been disallowed for obstruction. We well deserved that game. Arsenal parked the bus. Exactly, Daryl's right as well. Please smash that like button, everybody. Give me a follow on TikTok as well, because it's nice to get this interaction, because you're all making very valid points. The Arsenal goal has come through pure luck. And a lot of people saying there was a foul in the build-up. I mean, I am going to go back and watch the goal, because if there is a foul there, then that goal should not have been allowed. No way that should have been disallowed. Poor keeping. I am going to go back and watch the goal, because if there is a foul in the build-up, then it would have been interesting to see why VAR or the referee's not seen that. But clearly there was probably not much of a foul there for it not to be given. Arsenal just kept wasting time at the end of the game. Yeah, we dominated you in the FA Cup and didn't go through 3 points as 3 points her way. Exactly. Des says we were robbed. Yep, completely agree. Smash that like button, everybody. Give me a follow as well. We were robbed. It was no different to what happened with Raya later in the game. Raya just showed his strength. Exactly. We were robbed. I do feel like we've been robbed of at least a point. Best I've seen us play a call to Scotty. Yeah, I would agree. Pen on Maguire, not given. See, I agree. I think that's a foul on Maguire. I think that's a foul on Maguire. We did play well, though. We did absolutely play well. I think we should have had at least 2 penalties because CUNHA was fouled in the first half. Maguire clearly had his shirt pulled and he was brought down and he lost his boot. If Altay wasn't weak, then maybe it would have been different. But the problem is, Dylan, both goalkeepers aren't good enough, mate. Neither goalkeeper are good enough. That's the big problem. Neither of those goalkeepers are good enough, mate. That's the big issue we've got. None of those goalkeepers are good enough. If we had Donnarumma, Martinez, Lemans, we probably wouldn't concede that goal. But apparently, according to Romano, we've been talking to Martinez and Lemans for a week. Then why haven't you got them in then? If we want a goalkeeper and we've been talking to both of them, why have you not signed them? Why have you not brought them in? I hope Mason Mount stays fit. He had a better of a game. Better than Onana. Yeah, I suppose at least we didn't concede more than 1. SESKO made a good few runs. Shame nobody picked him out. Yeah. Noticed that quite a lot in this again. I tell you what, Scotty, you make a good point. That is actually a very good comment. SESKO made a good few runs. Shame nobody picked him out. Are we going to have the same problem again that we don't provide service to our striker? Very good point. CUNHA class, MBEUMO class, Mount solid, Bruno solid. Okay. DALOT class, Euro. I agree with everything you're saying, Archie. I just don't agree with the Bruno solid. I thought Bruno was dreadful. I actually agree with that comment. I'll try Matt in the pivot next to Bruno. We should sign Martinez from Villa. DALOT had a great game. Exactly. Please smash that like button, everybody. Give me a follow as well. I disagree about Bruno. I thought Bruno was shocking. If Bruno wouldn't have pissed about in the penalty area, we wouldn't have conceded that corner. And we could have just got that ball out of the penalty area. That is what we should have done. That is what we should have done. Should have hit Bruno and kept Mount on. Yeah, I agree. Corner FC. Yeah, I completely agree. I think we can all agree in the live chat that Bruno was at fault for messing about in the penalty area, for conceding that corner. He shouldn't have done that. How does DALOT start matches? Completely agree. That's a great comment Jamie makes. How the fuck does DALOT get in this team? I've been saying and banging my drum about how bad DALOT is. We provide nothing when DALOT's at right wing back. There's no combination play between the number 10 and DALOT. MBEUMO doesn't get any play off DALOT. And you could see in the second half, as soon as DALOT was hooked, Ahmad came on. You could see the combination play between MBEUMO and Ahmad because they're both interacting on that side of the pitch. It's a very good point. Do you think it was a foul on Bayindir? No, I don't think there was no foul because he's a cheerleader. Yoro was poor also. I thought Yoro had quite a good game. He made 1 or 2 errors but didn't make a lot. Bayindir should have been stronger coming out. Also, Bruno was not great. MBEUMO was class. Arsenal fan here, but you played better today, not going to lie. Thank you, Raid. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Please smash that like button, everybody. Give me a follow as well. We're going to be live for about another 7 minutes or so, and then we're going to go and enjoy the rest of our weekend while we actually can. But we started the season with defeat. I think we can take a lot of positives. Yes, we've conceded a really, really bad goal. How UGARTE still plays is insane. Yep, completely agree. MAINOO only didn't see anything. More to come, and it looks exciting, says Scotty. Yeah, I think there's a lot of positives to take. It's just a shame that we didn't have SESKO on the pitch a lot earlier. But I think MBEUMO and CUNHA, if everybody agrees with me, would we give CUNHA and MBEUMO player of the match from a United point of view? Would we give MBEUMO and CUNHA player of the match? Could we all agree with that in the live chat? Could we all agree with that? That we give both of them player of the match because they would be United's best players today on the creative aspect? Are we going to give it to CUNHA and MBEUMO? You've given it to Dorgu. Man United back to normal at the start of the season. Yeah, you're not wrong. And the problem is we're already 3 points worse off. We're already 3 points worse off. There isn't any positive to be taken from losing. I'm a Liverpool fan and I agree Man United had a good game, just unlucky. Same old United. Man United player of the match, overall player of the match, not overall. Arsenal were all over them, completely disagree. United were the way better team. Cunha was good today. David has said same old United. Everybody's saying Cunha. I'm going to give player of the match to Cunha and MBEUMO, because I think without them today we wouldn't have created a lot. And every time they both get the ball to their feet, they're creative. They can attack. They can run with the ball. I think that is what's going to hurt a lot of opposition. But I would just wish we'd have had SESKO on the pitch a lot earlier. That is my disappointment. We didn't have SESKO on the pitch at the time. Next game, I want to see a front three of Cunha, Xerxes and MBEUMO. I don't think Xerxes is going to see any game time, to be fair. I think SESKO will start against Fulham. We can't really choose between the both, but they both played really good. Dorgu put in a shift. Man United 12 men simple. Ahmad should have started over DALOT. Completely agree. Please smash that like button, everybody, and please give me the follow as well. I think we're giving. I think we'll give it to Cunha then. I think overall what the live chat is saying is that we give Cunha player of the match today. We deserved at least a draw. Completely agree. I think we'll give it to Cunha then. I think overall as a live chat and from myself, I think we give Cunha player of the match, but I think we also give MBEUMO a massive shout out as well. His first game in the United shirt, he looks absolutely fantastic. And I like both these players. I think adding 2 Premier League experienced players into the team is going to benefit us. I think it would help us. I would give it to BRYAN. SESKO, MBEUMO and Cunha, we've got to see them start. Ahmad is glazed. He does one thing right and then the next thing is awful. Same UGARTE, inconsistently needed. Yeah, I think we'll give it to Cunha, but I think we also give a massive shout to MBEUMO as well. I think MBEUMO had a fantastic game. But we have lost the opening game of the season. It is disappointing, it is frustrating, but United have got to get moving in the transfer market. We need a goalkeeper and we need a midfielder, and United have got to back the manager. If we don't get a midfielder and we don't get a goalkeeper, I actually really worry for us in the future on in the season. UGARTE had a stinker. Cunha was better than MBEUMO. Ahmad made a difference when he came on. I think when SESKO wasn't on, DALOT kept crossing to nobody. Exactly. DALOT was fucking awful. DALOT was absolutely fucking trash. But yeah, we've lost the opening game. It is disappointing. It was our goalkeeper that cost us the game. Same old United. Love it. Ahmad was meh. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of positives to take. I'm not too downhearted. I know we've lost and we've not won the game, but we only lost by a scrappy goal. We only lost down to pure utter luck from an Arsenal perspective. But I think after this game, I think we all need to take is we all need a goalkeeper. I think we all agree on that. We need a new goalkeeper, and I think we do need a midfielder. And if I was the Glazers and I was the Jim, I think we need to go back in for Belieber. I honestly think United are going to have to go and give Brighton something completely stupid, like 110, 120, 130 million. And if Man United want Donnarumma and he wants 350 grand a week, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. Like, I know a lot of people say you can't give 350 grand a week. You say a lot of positive, but then I'm really worried. I get what you're saying. There's a positive to take, but if we don't start scoring goals, and there's a lot of players that don't start over certain others, then that is what worries me. But there's positives to take on an attacking sense. Saka, he's a fraud. Why would he downgrade anyway? I think we need a goalkeeper. I think we need a midfielder. I think that's the most 2 important points that we take from today's game. That United are going to have to splash the money. If Donnarumma wants 350 grand a week, you're going to have to give it to him. And if Brighton wants stupid money for Belieber, I'm doing it. If it's 130, 120 million, I'm doing it. I think we need a midfielder and a new left centre back. I think we need a midfielder. I think we need a goalkeeper. That's what I'm taking from today's result. We've lost 1-0 to Arsenal. We have got money. People just don't like it that we're now splashing it. I think after today, watch Man United go and buy players. They're going to try and spin a positive. We dominated Arsenal. So many more attacks than them. I'm not worried at all. 130 million for Belieber. They created so much less than us. Exactly. Yeah, we've lost the game 1-0. This has been your full-time match reaction from Old Trafford on the start of the new Premier League season. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. Hopefully we can pick ourselves up for next Sunday. We're away to Fulham at Craven Cottage. We know how difficult Fulham can be at home. Hopefully we can pick ourselves up. And obviously I am taking a lot of positives from CUNHA and MBEUMO today. If we get SESKO in that team next week, it'll be nice to see them as a front three. But I think after today's game, the biggest talking points are we need a goalkeeper. We can't keep putting up with BAYINDIR. We can't keep putting up with Onana. We need a new goalkeeper. And we need a midfielder. I don't care how much it's going to be for Belieber. United are going to have to break the bank and face the consequences in the future. And we need Donnarumma or Martinez. That is the two goalkeepers I would go for. And let's see what happens in the last 2 weeks of the transfer window, because we don't play till next Sunday now. I mean, how fun's that? 1 game a week. How fucking boring is that going to be? Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you to all the likes. Thank you to all the new followers. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, everybody. Stay safe, be nice, be kind to each other. You're all legends, you're all legendary, and I will see you all on the next one.